Hey guys, and welcome back to another Relative Shenanigans video. Today we're going back in time to the classics of the board game hobby with Uno, Scattergories, Sorry, Trouble, all those kind of games, and I'm going to tell you which ones you should play instead. Before I mention any of these games that I recommend a different game, obviously these are classics and I get when people play them, but I just enjoy these ones better, but you don't necessarily have to buy this other game just because I'm telling you to. Go with your heart. Let's get into it. Next is Uno. So this game is very popular. No matter what version you have, every Uno usually runs the same idea. You play a card that matches the color or the number, and if you can't do that, you play a wild card if you want. And you're just trying to get rid of your entire hand and play rounds until someone gets to 500, I believe, but nobody plays that way. What makes Uno so bad to me? It's not that bad, honestly. That's not what I meant. It's just, it's fine. It's okay. But I don't think I want to play Uno that much because I don't like drawing. I'm fine with drawing cards in games, but I don't like when it's like draw 2 cards, draw 4 cards. And I'm like, just be nicer to me. I want to have a fair chance. So that's where Dump the Skunk or Llama or Don't Llama comes in. Where in this one, it's kind of like Uno, except you can actually quit the round instead of just scoring your hand like normal when someone goes out. You can quit the round and take those points as is. And the restriction of playing cards is a little more, where you play a card from 1 to 6, and then the Skunk, and then it goes back to 1. So you are playing it follows the same ideas as Uno, but I feel like it is better to me because it's faster. It's not as punishing because the punishing is your doing, because you could either be like, okay, I could quit the round or I could take more cards to try and get what I need. So it feels less punishing than Uno ever did. And the cool thing is the duplicate numbers. In Uno, duplicate numbers still score you points. In this one, duplicate numbers count as the same number. So if I have 6 sixes, then that's only 6 points for me. So I think Dump the Skunk did a way better job with the Uno formula than Uno ever did. Dump your Uno if you want and get Dump the Skunk. Next is Scattergories. I don't know if this is a full-on classic, but it is one of the older games. Scattergories, you roll the die, you quickly come up with the different categories based on the letter, and you are trying to not match people, but think of as many as you can. That's how simple it is, and you're playing like 2 rounds, I believe, and you're timed. Honestly, this one is just boring to me because it is sometimes really hard to think of different things from one letter. So what do I recommend instead? Why, of course, P for pizza. So P for pizza follows that idea, but it makes it much easier and more fun. So you have 3 categories on here, and then you have a letter that follows it. So like this says Italian food, and then you say spaghetti, and you get the card if you're first. And you are trying to build your pizza by getting 6 slices. But the catch is, you get to have at least 3 of the easies. Once you have your bottom row filled out, then you'll have to do the second to last 2 with yellow. Then the last one must be a hard category. I really enjoy this one. I would play it again. And I feel like it's a better category game than Scattergories ever was, because it feels faster. It feels like I have a better chance, because if you don't know, instead of scoring no points, you can just take the card off if no one knows, and now you have a different one. There are so many cards, there's so many different letters in here that I think P for Pizza is a must-have if you like Scattergories, or if you don't like it and you want something that's similar but better. And all of these games, I'm trying to find games that are similar enough that they will give you the same joy, but more. Next is Pictionary. So Pictionary, you might already know the game. Basically, you are drawing different things, trying to get people to guess it. If they guess it, then you get to move ahead on the board, I believe. I haven't played this game in forever. And it's okay, but it's not the best. And you'll probably run out of paper pretty fast. It's another timed game. But what could be better than Pictionary? Why, of course, a game that's Pictionary meets telephone. That's right, it's Telestrations. I have the older version apparently because there's a new version, which you could pick that one up. And I'm trying to go for the same price range because, example, if I say that instead of getting Catan on the road, you should get Catan, that's like $40 more, so I wouldn't usually do that. I'm trying to fit the same price range, kind of. The Telestrations, you are given an idea, or given a prompt, like calculator. And then you will sketch that, then you'll pass it to the next person. They'll guess it, pass it to the next person, they'll sketch it, pass it to the next person. You get the idea. And everyone will pass at the same time, so you'll get a new pamphlet each time until you get yours back. And honestly, it's just good fun. It's faster, it's funnier than Pictionary ever was, and it's just better to me. And it's better quality, definitely. The op does not mess around with their quality of games. It's good quality. And instead of it being pencils, it is markers. I know they've done that in Pictionary before. I'm not going to mention it. Theirs are cheap. This is a must-have if you want this kind of game. Or Scrawl. You could get Scrawl also if that's easier to find, but I don't have that one. So Telestrations it is. Next one we have is Clue. So I feel like a lot of people know Clue. You're trying to find out who did it, where they did it, and what weapon they used. Not in that exact order, but you get the idea. And you're moving around this board going to different locations so you can actually ask where they did it. And once you know it, you give an accusation. If you're right, you win. If you're wrong, you're out of the game. Yeah, that's simple. You roll dice to move on the board, which I don't like that aspect. That's why I like Clue FX better. But I'm not going to recommend Clue FX because it's more expensive than Clue. And harder to find, I believe, yes. So I recommend Ghosted instead. In Ghosted, there's only small differences, but in this one, you roll one die to do these different things. And when you do, you can guess 2 suspects, 2 motives, or 2 weapons based on what you roll. Which I really like that it's guess 2 instead of 1 from each category, because there is one of those in here. And then just like Clue, you have Scales of Justice, which is guess 1 from each category. But the biggest thing is instead of giving you one of them, they tell you how many are right instead of which ones are right. So you get more clues than Clue in this one. And there are tokens, so if you might roll something that you're not able to use because you've already figured it out. They've solved that. If you do, then you take a token. Once you roll something again that you can't use, you use a token and use it as any action. And there's also a question mark, which means wild, so you can do any of them. And the yes or no question changes the whole game in a sense. Because based on what question you ask, you could get closer to winning, you could get better at looking at what you have and seeing how you're going to deduce it. It just really changes the game and makes it way more fun because of the question you just asked, and I'm like, oh, that was a good question. And the biggest thing, though, is that in Clue, there's like 6 weapons, 6 suspects, and 9 locations. In this one, there's 12 of everything. So when you're dealt cards, it feels way more fair because no matter how many you have, you usually have a good amount of everything. And even if you don't have a good amount of this, then you have a really good amount of it. It balances itself out when you're dealing cards. And the cooler thing is, since all cards, there's no duplicates, you can look at the other people's boards. Not the white boards, but like everyone has their own weapon, death, and suspect, or weapon, motive, and suspect of how they died. And you get to look at the other people's as answers and mark those off because they can't be yours. There is so much deducing and fun that Ghosted throws in to beat the Clue format. So, I recommend Ghosted over Clue. And I think, honestly, I think it's better. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified for every video we make. See you guys next time. Bye!